Well, everyone's hitting me up about this, but what more to say? Danny Garcia did his job. He came in and took apart Robert the Ghost Guerrero. His boxing skills, and this is what I mean by having a good, basically a great amateur background, and this is why amateur fights are so important. And they play a big part into the pro level. You see, Robert Guerrero, with all the experience he has fighting at the pro level, he still had flaws that he always had since the beginning, since he's been pro. And he's never learned how to pace himself, keep his body balanced by throwing a punch. You don't have to control a fighter with throwing punches and just throwing your arms out there. You could use your arms to control the person and guide them, and actually knowing how to counter properly, looking for the right openings, the timing, instead of throwing looping shots. There's no real structure to his boxing ability, which tells you that from an early period on in his career, he learned flawed, and those skills were never worked on or enhanced, and he still resorted back into his flawed style of boxing. Now, early on in this fight, when Garcia was trying to establish himself in the fight, Guerrero wouldn't give him a chance to think. He jumped on him right away, but he wasn't too aggressive. He was aggressive by making him uncomfortable with his presence, and then throwing shots and not giving Danny Garcia a chance to set his feet and to try to select on what Robert was going to do. So he used effective aggressiveness early. And he was the one that was dictating the pace, while Danny Garcia was trying to get his range. And while he was doing that, he was going to the body. And the fact that Danny Garcia doesn't jab, it makes it easier for Robert Guerrero to just come right in. That's why Garcia's face always going to look like the fight of the night, because Danny Garcia is not going to do anything but use his head and try to counter you with power shots coming in. That's why he didn't mind being on the back heel, because he knew he can counter at any given chance he needed to. And as we're seeing here, let me mute that. That was off a counter. I'll show you again, and there's the ghost throwing another punch just to be throwing it. Watch this. See? Off a counter, boom. Ghost saw it coming, but still, then he just throws a meaningless punch out there just to be throwing his arms. Here it is, timed. Boom, uppercut. Bam, right on the money. And this was the tail of the second half of the fight. Around the fifth round, for some reason, Robert Guerrero seemed gassed. Danny Garcia hit him with a perfect left shot right on the liver. By him being a southpaw, that liver is exposed. And it seemed to knock a lot of wind out of Robert Guerrero early, as far as him throwing punches. And I swear, in that fifth round, like midway in the fifth, he was dead. And I said, oh man. Like, Danny hit him with a very good body shot when he threw a left hook to the body. And it was like right on the money. And ever since then, the fight was Danny Garcia's to lose. Now, early on, the Mansour fight with Brelis was really good. You know, that got everybody excited, because Mansour came and brought the fight to Brelis, and Brelis ended up getting knocked down in one of the rounds. But what an action fight it was. And he ended up breaking Mansour's jaw. The guy was 43, he ran out of gas, but the excitement that brought got the people's imagination wondering about the heavyweight division. Brelis is a former football player. His size is just, too much for him in the end. But, he was victorious. And then you had, I don't know what happened in the Aaron Martinez fight. I think he went into this fight injured because he needed the money. But he did not do what he needed to do to win the fight. And that's unlike Martinez. And that's why everybody else is watching it like, man, this is not like him. Why is he trying to fight this fight? He needs to be on top of this guy. Be in his wheelhouse. And like, everyone knows it, but my goodness. it didn't resonate in the ring. I'll tell you that much. And I don't know what's going on, but I can't, discredit Sammy Vasquez. He did his job. I mean, he was the faster hands, threw a lot of punches. Knew that was gonna be the case coming in, but wow, didn't see that coming. I mean, Mansour at 43, he was bringing it. Look at him. He was wild, but he was game, Oh, and there he went. And Bracell, he's got a lot of size. He just got to realize to use his advantage. He's pretty strong. I mean, he knew to hold on. He's strong and everything, but you're coming in here, you got bad footwork, and this is not how you want to go out. You got to tie up. You got to use what you can to get through the night. As the fight continued, you saw Bracell was able to keep the distance, and Mansour punched himself out, and he was just chasing the bigger man, and that became dangerous. And here it is. It's over. He's telling his trainer, I can't close my mouth. His trainer's just like, man, I can't believe it. And they had to call it. And Bracell is the victor, and he couldn't close his mouth. And it ended up being a result, a broken jaw. And he couldn't continue, but he gave us everything he had. Here's the punch that broke the jaw. Well, didn't look like a lot, but it was enough. And he couldn't go no more. And that was it. His trainer just couldn't take it. Aaron Martinez just was not himself. He injured, I think, his left elbow, and he did a lot of just coming in, tying up. And Sammy Vasquez was just able to speed him and beat him to the punch, and it was a hug fest. And that was just it for him. There it is. It's his left elbow or arm or something. And he's done. And Sammy Vasquez, your winner. And this was the shot of the night here. Danny Garcia and Philly Garcia. And as the little one comes in, Robert Guerrero's coming in there, but Danny Garcia wins 116, 112. Well deservedly, because that's the same scorecard I had. I had 116, 112, I think. And I think I possibly had a 115, 113. Because I gave Robert Guerrero the 12th round, but I think one of those rounds, it was back and forth. It could have went either way. But he clearly was the winner. And I think I may have gave him 10. Round 10. Then the first 3 rounds was iffy. I think I gave the first 2 rounds to Robert Guerrero. Or I had it 1-1. The second round and the third round I went to Guerrero. Okay, yeah, no, 116, 112. Yeah, I had it right. So yeah, we had the same score. But this is the cutest thing ever. Where did she get the baby WBC belt? That is too cute. Alright, it's your boy Garcia. I'm out, man. See y'all at the Sean Porter Thurman fight.